Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Practice Life. Oh, this is a good one today, and it's near and dear to my heart. Um, I call this one, I Bought My Brain a Christmas Gift, and you'll find out why in just a second. I am one of those really lucky people, friends, who grew up with both sides of my family being pretty fabulous and aunts and uncles who were loving and generous and caring and interested in every detail of our lives. And this year, one of them made her transition, my Auntie Barb. And my Auntie Barb married to my Uncle Bob, who is my dad's brother. Boy, what a gem. What a gem this woman was in our lives and continues to be, I'm sure. She was also known as Miss Barbara, a nursery school teacher, mom to Bobby and Amy and Dan, and Auntie Barb to her smattering of her brood of cousins, of her little nephews and nieces, and we all adored her. And it's holiday season, and I'm thinking about her because I saw her last Christmas and spent time with her at our annual Salada gathering, holiday gathering, Cousins Christmas. And Auntie Barb had been going through health problems for a while, and more recently, beginning to have memory loss. And of course, that is the hardest on the people who love you. And it's hard on the person, especially since she had an awareness that she was losing her memory. She had an awareness that she couldn't remember things. And it was becoming very, very difficult, those changes that happened to somebody. And I remember last Christmas, when I first saw her, I'm the first. So she knew me right away. Share. And we caught up and chatted for a little bit. I had one of her famous stuffed mushrooms. That was her special hors d'oeuvre that she brought to every cousin's Christmas. And later on in the night, I noticed that she was kind of looking off, and I knew in that moment, that's what the beginnings of mild to moderate dementia look like. It was a disconnection from the everything that was going on around her, and she made her transition early in the year this year, and there was a beautiful funeral, and afterwards a very wonderful, wonderful luncheon. And as I stood around talking to people at the luncheon, I began to get some information that I wasn't aware of. And turns out, I would say a good 60% of the women in my mother and father's circle, aunts and uncles, the ones who hung out, went to dinner parties, spent time together, their social club, about 60% of them, maybe higher, were now in memory care. And that got me. I was like, wow, I am going to honor my Auntie Barb by learning more about this and really kind of digging in for myself, not as a scholar, but as a woman in the last third of my own life. And it turns out more women get Alzheimer's and dementia than men by a lot, by a lot. And research at an all-time high. They are scrambling to figure out what's next, what the treatments are, what the causes are. But I did learn a number of things that I want to share with you as information. And because I know I'm acting on it myself, the more I learn. Number one, surprisingly, women, we need to get our hearing checked. Apparently, And I'm fortunate enough to live in a community that has a hearing specialist that is top notch. She is leading edge. She is in the latest research on cognitive ability and hearing and what that relationship is. So I went to see her right away, and she said, "Sherry," because right away I was going to have an exam. She's pulling out hearing devices, and I'm like, "Wow, what's going on here?" And she goes, "I know by your age." She said, "Most of us need our hearing supported in our mid 40s." And I was like, "What? That's unbelievable to me. I've never heard that." And she's like, "Well, I'm sure a lot of mainstream hearing specialists might say, but most of us do, because your cognitive abilities begin to drop off when you can no longer hear certain tones, and that decreases in your 40s for most people." And so she tested me, and she said, "Now you have mild hearing loss." And she said, "With mild and moderate hearing loss, we can restore any cognitive loss. We can restore the tones. We can reverse any cognitive disability that's occurred. Once you're in the severe area, which is usually when they slap those aids on, it's too late. I mean, you might hear better, but you're not going to get those tones back." So that was a big thing. Hearing loss and dementia there's a relationship there. I also came across a guy I just love. He's a big TikToker. His name is Dr. Robert A. Love, Love. He's a neuroscientist, and he's made it his life's mission to prevent and reverse Alzheimer's. So I was following him, and I DM'd him on Instagram, and he said, "Call me," and sent me his phone number. So one Sunday afternoon, he and I were chitty chatting for a good 45 minutes, and he's very into this topic, and he was a delight. And I asked him point blank, I said, "Can we reverse dementia? Can we avoid it? Even if, we're genetically predisposed, can we avoid dementia and Alzheimer's right now in this lifetime?" And he goes, "Yes, yes, we can. You just have to be willing to make the lifestyle changes that make it so." And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, his favorite supplement is lion's mane mushrooms that has been shown in various tests he cited. So I take Dr. Love's lion's mane mushroom supplement called Roar. I've been taking it, oh gosh, for about 6 months now. Gives you really lovely, freaky dreams. But he is chock full of information, from diet to exercise. Of course, sleep is really important, lightening up on the drinking, to no drinking, and really, really making those lifestyle changes. Because for all of us who've been around somebody who is battling dementia or who is in that decline, it is not something any one of us would want for ourselves. And the fact that there are things we can do right now, really, really, really important. And more to come. Listen, this is not a comprehensive list. Here's why I'm sharing this with you. I'm on the case. I put a lot of time into looking to see what the latest is about dementia and Alzheimer's, because there are things we can start to do right now. And it doesn't have to be crazy business, but get your hearing checked, see what's going on. Maybe start to take a lion's mane supplement. See what other things, like vitamin D is really important. Making sure, do you have good sleep hygiene? Or are you sleeping with the TV on? Do you put yourself to bed in a loving, cherished, healthy way? Like dimming the lights, closing the curtains, taking some deep breaths, maybe doing a little appreciation practice. I've done that for years, done an evening ceremony, getting myself ready for bed, and I sleep like a baby. Out of all the things, any woman can have at this stage of life. I don't have that sleep thing. And that's probably because of my dad. He was making me sleep 14 hours when I was 12. And lastly, I want to reveal to you the Christmas gift I bought for my brain. I have purchased myself a complete, beautiful, lovely mahjong set. The opportunity came in my community to go and learn. It was like a 2.5 hour learn how to do it lesson. And when I was done, my brains were so scrambled, it felt like when I was back taking Italian at the Beverly Hills School of Language, when I was the worst one and I couldn't be, once we got past vocabulary, it was terrible for me. But my brains were scrambled. It is a game of strategy, but it's a social game and you have to pay attention. And, once you learn it, and I can imagine the strategy takes years to learn, but the basics anybody can learn. And, listen, I bought myself a beautiful mat, beautiful tiles. It's really quite gorgeous. I've already hosted my first little 2-hour mahjong afternoon. It was hilarious because none of us knew how to start the game. We had to go to some YouTube videos. But I can see something like that, something new like that is so good for my brain. It just gets all kinds of new synapses firing, new neural pathways. So it might not be mahjong for you, although it's pretty cool, friends. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can go online and learn it too. It might be something else, but at this stage of the game, there's nothing new coming in your life unless you program it, unless you design it, unless you raise your hand and say, I want to learn something new. I want to change up a pattern. I want to do something new. I want to shake the snow globe of my life and start doing some new things that are interesting and a little challenging and make me think a little bit. So every time I sit down to my beautiful tiles and my gorgeous mahjong set, I'm going to think of my beloved Auntie Barb, who is my great teacher when it comes to brain health. I'll see you next time. Meanwhile, oh, Auntie Barb, I got a little tear in my eye there. Auntie Barb, I love you so much. At sherrysalata.com/free network, we are going to host the event for the end of the year on December 29th, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are going to do a free workshop about aligning your compass, getting your true north for 2025. And I'll have some things to say about wrapping up this year in the best possible way. It is going to be a barn burner. I'd love for you to be there. It'll all be taking place inside the free front porch of the Sherry Salata Network, where everything's free. All the downloads, my holiday playlists, all the things. So go to sherrysalata.com/free network, and you'll get access to the workshop, the free event. You'll get my holiday playlist. You'll get some downloads and early access to the podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody.